Alright, so this is going to be a quick video done by Super Silly Shy Guy, which is me. Um, this one's going to be covering this Splatfest that's coming up, which is going to be between the four Ninja Turtles. Now, the series that is based off of, I personally have never even heard of, and it is called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there you have it. Like, honestly, the last Ninja Turtle series that I've seen personally was the one just prior to the Nickelodeon release. And I'm not trying to trash on the Nickelodeon release of the Turtles. It's just I've never seen it. You know, I haven't had time, been busy working, running around. You know how it is. If you have a job and you're paying rent at your place and you're just busy. Anyway, mind you, I have been a Ninja Turtle fan for the longest time, so, I know a thing or two about these four brothers, and, I'm looking forward to this Splatfest, but this is the thing, this is why I'm doing this video. I gotta get ready for work, by the way, so it's gonna be a real quick one. So it's gonna be a tournament-style Splatfest, and in this Splatfest, they're gonna have, 2v2, like always, but they're gonna be taking place on different days. So, it's gonna start out with Raph versus Leo, and this is gonna be from May 4th to the May 5th. And then the second one, which is going to be Donnie versus Mikey, is going to be May 11th to May 15th. So, this is how it's going to go down. They're going to have, the Turtles pitted up against each other. I feel like the matchups personally are good. If you ever seen Death Battle, where they have the four brothers fighting each other, or if you've ever seen, like, any of the Ninja Turtle movies or anything like that, you know that the best matchups are Raph versus Leo, and then Mikey versus Donnie. And so, whoever wins in those two Splatfests will then be taking place in a Splatfest that's going to happen on May 18th and 19th. So, pretty much, this is going to be a tournament style. I'm going for my boy Leo. Leo is always my favorite. He is the most skilled, or rather, the most skilled at martial arts, I should say. He's the most skilled at martial arts. Like, he's trained under Master Splinter, like, more harshly, I feel, than the other Turtles. But I'm not trying to say the other Turtles aren't going to win. Again, I love all four of them. Raphael, or Raph, his thing is he's always training. He's always, he has these weights, every time you see him, he has these weights. He has his punching bag, He may not be the most proficient at martial arts, but the dude, he could wreck. Like, if you've ever seen that Ninja Turtle movie where it pitted Leo versus Raph, and, Leo doesn't know it's really Raph, he thinks it's just some vigilante. Even though he looks like a giant metal turtle, like, he's thinking maybe it's just some dude in a turtle suit, trying to pick up where he left off. Because, at this point, Leo has been gone, he's been gone, he left to meditate, to train, and he was helping people elsewhere, and the thing is like, because he was gone, Raph ended up building this suit and taking on crime on his own. Well, the other two brothers are just chilling, basically, from what I remember. And so, they fight, and Raph ends up winning. Now, why he wins is because Leo, when he was cool, level-headed, he didn't know who was under the mask, he was dominating. Didn't matter what gadgets Raph threw at him, Leo was dominating. The second Leo let himself get mad, the second he got swallowed up in his own anger, that's when the tables turn. Now he's playing, in Raphael's, I guess you could say, field of expertise. Raph's always mad. He's always had an anger issue. So, Leo fighting mad made his skills dull and made it so that way it gave Raphael that edge. And he was able to overpower him and win him. And he almost killed him too, mind you. He was about to kill him. He ended up leaving him on the roof. He was freaking out. So, you know, like, don't count Raphael out. And again, you know, Donnie, I feel like he is the most shat upon turtle out of all of them. You know, there was that College Humor video a long time ago where they were calling him Poop Stick. Like, oh, hey, yeah, wear this diaper on your head. Grab this stick that's, like, covered in, like, shit, you know. And so they're making fun of him, you know, because, oh, he's not the most proficient fighter. Like, he's not the strongest or anything. But the thing with Donnie is, he's good with technology. And if it wasn't for Donnie, I feel like a lot of the missions these turtles have been on, they probably wouldn't have been successful. Especially when it took, like, some kind of, like, gadget or, you know, some other means of getting in. Like, they couldn't just stealth their way in all the time. You know, so, you know, Donnie's tech gives him the edge. Without saying, like, he can literally utilize his mind and overwhelm an opponent just by outclassing them with how smart he is. And Michelangelo in Death Battle was being trashed on. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They're like, okay, he's the least skilled fighter. He's the dumbest one. They gave him the most difficult weapon. And it's like, dude, if you've ever watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like I've been watching it growing up. I remember the first Ninja Turtle movie, you know, the one where those dudes are, like, wearing the turtle suits and all that. Like, that's how far back it goes. But I remember this one scene, Foot Clan's invading, you know, one dude steps up, he has nunchucks, and Mikey steps up, he's like, hey, you know, a fellow chucker. And he just starts outclassing this dude. He is showing off his skills, his feats, you know, he's doing all these crazy maneuvers with these nunchucks, and put this dude to shame, you know, and then the fight breaks out. So what I'm saying is, it's not like, oh, he's not efficient with his weapons. He's never shown or showcased, unless it was for comedic comedy, has he ever messed up with his nunchucks? You know, and again, like, it was just to get some giggles or whatever, and it is within his character. Mikey does like getting attention, but when it comes to an actual serious fight, you never see him mess up with his weapons. Or if you do see him, like, kind of get knocked down or whatever, you know, everybody else is getting knocked down too usually. So, you know, it's not that he's not skilled or, oh, he's so dumb. And again, people underestimate his intelligence. I remember in the series, again, the one prior to the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles, there was a tournament going on. You know, Master Splinter had just given Mikey a win, you know, because he stepped down. And it came down to Raph versus Mikey. And, you know, Raph thought, I have this. There's no way my brother's going to beat me. I win, you know. And Michelangelo, even though he was scared, he thought to himself, wow, let me just get this guy pissed. And he basically got Raph so angry, so mad, that he was able to defeat him in a tournament. And, you know, nobody saw that coming. Everyone thought, and myself too, I thought, man, Leo's going to win this. Like, he's the most skilled out of all the turtles, you know, unless, like, they somehow just bring about somebody else that's going to win this or whatever. But Mikey won that. You know, he won against his brother. And I can't remember if he won the whole tournament or if it got interrupted. It's been a minute. But I remember I was blown away. I was like, wow, they gave Mikey that win. That's awesome. You know, good for them, because he is the most unorthodox fighter. Like, if you've played the Turtles in Injustice 2, this dude comes in on a skateboard, you know? Like, he comes in on a skateboard, he knocks the guy down, he high-fives whoever, you know, or actually, no, not whoever summoned him, it has to be Leo. Leo uses all the turtles. But, you know, you get the point. Like, he comes in, and whoever, you know, you're playing as or playing against, does not see it coming, and that's the whole point. Is Mikey is very unorthodox. You don't know what the guy's gonna do. You know, like you look at Leo, it's like, okay, obviously this dude's gonna try and take me down with class finesse, with like, you know, traditional martial arts. You look at Raph, okay, this guy's probably gonna try and overpower me, but when it comes to Michelangelo, you don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know what he's gonna throw at you. You know, everyone underestimates him because he's this huge goofball and you think he's dumb. He isn't dumb. And with Donnie, again, like, Donnie is very unpredictable in a way, too, because he uses his brains, he uses his smart, uses his tech, you know, and a lot of the times he's gotten the turtles out of trouble, too, utilizing this tech. So, what I'm getting down to is, regardless of whatever turtle wins this, you know, I'm gonna be happy. I feel like ignore the death battle. Please ignore the death battle. I mean, I get that they do the research and all that, but what they were doing was, if all the turtles are pitted up against each other and had to kill one another, Leo would win. But this isn't a death battle. This isn't, you know, who can kill all the other turtles, you know. And plus, I can't see a situation where the brothers would even try to kill one another. You know, that's just... I couldn't even. When they decided to do that death battle, I was like, it makes sense, because again, you know, like, you want to know which turtle's the best, but you have to take into account, they weren't fighting tournament style, they were trying to kill each other. And they're saying, because Leo, you know, has the most skill, that he would win. Like, he would make Raph do all the heavy lifting and then take him out at the end. So, you know, again, that to me is pretty situational, but I guess you ran a bunch of simulations and saw that Leo won more so than any of the other turtles. But again, when it comes down to it, the reason why I like this matchup is, let's say they were like, okay, Mikey versus Leo, you know, or Donnie versus Raph. Most of the time, people would give the win to Leo or Raph. And this is just based off of like how well they perform in battle and how strong they are. And you know, like the matchup being already out the gate, Leo versus Raphael, now you're like, okay, it comes down to either your favorite or who you think would win. And it could go either way with those two. They are the strongest, most skilled fighters in their group when it comes to combat. Now, Michelangelo versus Donnie, again, good matchup. Unorthodox fighter versus the techie who could literally, like, outclass you by outsmarting you. You know, so, good matchups, but now, the problem that I have is, at the very end, a final Splatfest that's gonna, you know, with these brothers, that's gonna occur on May 18th, May 19th. And again, we don't have a time, you know, like, for whatever reason they haven't. Normally when a Splatfest is announced, they're like, okay, from this time to this time, usually it's from 9 a.m. to, or actually, no, it's 9 p.m., I'm sorry. 9 p.m., you know, on the 18th to 9 p.m. on the 19th or something like that. You know, they give you a solid 24 hours to, you know, dominate, to win. This time, they did give a time. I'm sorry, scratch that. They say it's gonna start, you know, at 9. So yeah, it's just like what do you normally do. So what I'm getting at is, on the final round, is a final match, you know, again, happening on the 18th and 19th. It's gonna come down to either Leo or Raph versus Mikey or Donnie, you know. And even though I want Leo to win, I can't help but to cheer for the underdog. I know people aren't going to pick Donnie, unless they feel like, oh, because people aren't going to pick Donnie, we should pick Donnie. And I've seen that in the community when it comes to Pearl and Marina. People like Marina more, so you know what, let's go with Pearl, because Pearl deserves a win. So there's a possibility, there's definitely a possibility people can pick Donnie, and maybe Donnie's your favorite character. I've seen that too. You know, obviously Donnie is a really cool character. But I just can't help but to feel like a lot of people will pick either Leo or Raph at the end. You know? And again, I would love it if Leo won. He's my all time favorite turtle, but who knows? Anyway, this is Super Silly Shy Guy signing out. And let me know underneath in the comments, like which turtle you would like to see win, who you're rooting for, out of the Leo versus Raph, and then later on Mikey versus Donnie, and then who do you think will come out on top at the very end, of this tournament style Splatfest? Who do you think will come out on top? I will leave a link in the description below for Splatoon US. This is where I got all my information from. It's from Tumblr. So, hope to see you guys again. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I ranted on so much. It's just, I'm fairly passionate with the turtles, I will get around to watching the new series, that Nickelodeon ran, but I only ever see it on Hulu, and it's only a couple of episodes. I'm really hoping that they drop it on Netflix at some point, or that there's some other way of watching it without having to buy like a box set or something. Anyway, this is Super Silly Shy Guy signing out. Thank you for watching.